Welcome back to the deep dive. Last time, we kicked things off with Anubhav Srivastava's Nothing Everything, talking about representation.
Right, the idea that reality for us is like this mental VR headset we're always wearing. Can't take it off.
Exactly. So today we're diving into the second part, which you hinted is, well, maybe a bit darker.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
We're moving past just appearances into what Srivastava, following Schopenhauer, calls the will. This is about the engine behind the appearances. It gets really interesting and, a little unsettling.
Okay, intrigued. So what is this will? Break it down for us.
Well, the book explains it as this really fundamental blind force. It's pure striving, pure wanting. It's not smart, not good or bad. It just is.
Just is.
Yeah, it's the raw push, the craving, the energy behind everything. Humans, animals, plants, even rocks and galaxies, according to Schopenhauer. It's just this constant state of wanting, pushing, being.
Huh. A blind force just pushing.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds kind of bleak, honestly. How do we even experience that? I mean, it sounds so huge and abstract.
Srivastava is a great example. Really simple. Think about lifting your hand.
Okay.
So you see your hand move, right? That's the external view. That's representation, like we talked about.
Got it.
But inside that feeling, the impulse, the desire, the push that makes you raise it, that feeling, that direct internal urge, that's you experiencing the will.
Ah, I see. So it's not like a thought-out decision, I shall now raise my hand.
Yeah.
It's more primal.
Exactly. It's that fundamental drive beneath the conscious thought.
The book calls it a zombie force behind all life.
Yeah.
Which is, creepy. So the implication is this force doesn't know what it wants, doesn't care if we're happy, has no big plan.
That's the idea. It just blindly pushes everything forward. Keep living, keep reproducing. Doesn't matter if it involves struggle or pain. That's secondary to the drive itself.
So like a plant turning to the sun. Or, I guess, a predator hunting.
Perfect examples. They're all just different expressions of this one cosmic blind urge. Srivastava even points to things like gravity, magnetism. Not that they want things consciously, of course, but their constant action, their pull, reflects this universal striving, this relentless need to just be and continue.
Wow, okay. Yeah. That's a heavy concept.
Yeah.
But it also sounds familiar somehow.
Yeah.
You mentioned Srivastava draws a parallel.
He does, and it's quite stunning. He connects Schopenhauer's will directly to Charles Darwin.
To Darwin, how so?
Think about Darwin's struggle for existence. Nature red in tooth and claw, right? Constant, often brutal competition to survive, to pass on genes, and crucially, Darwin showed it just happens. There's no guiding intelligence, no morality behind natural selection.
Okay.
Schopenhauer's will is like the philosophical version of that. It's this blind, irrational force pushing everything to persist, which inevitably leads to a life of wanting, striving, and often, suffering.
So life just keeps going because it has to, not because it's good or happy.
Precisely. The book puts it starkly. Life keeps going, not because it's good or happy or smart, but because it can't help itself. It's just this raw impulse.
And there's that analogy Srivastava uses, life as this huge, monstrous train.
Yeah, a train running purely on this raw, blind hunger. It wants to move, needs to move, but has absolutely no idea where it's going.
And Darwin's part is like, the train is constantly breaking down, shedding parts, and only the bits that work best keep the whole thing chugging along blindly.
That's a great way to put it. But then, just as you're sort of absorbing this bleak picture, Srivastava flips the script.
Oh.
He points out a massive hole, a fundamental question that Schopenhauer's idea, powerful as it is, doesn't answer.
Okay, let me guess. If the will is this ultimate driving force behind absolutely everything, then what's driving the will itself? Where did it come from?
You got it. That's the core issue. Srivastava asks, why does this will want anything? What kicked it off? What manifested this so-called will?
So Schopenhauer describes the engine, but not how the engine got there or why it started running.
Exactly. It explains how things seem to operate on this fundamental level, but not why there's anything operating at all. And that question, for Srivastava, is the real starting point for the rest of his theory.
The ultimate question. Why is there something rather than nothing?
That's the one. And he gives this warning, right? Trying to wrap our heads around this is like a mouse trying to understand space-time.
Yeah, our brains might just not be built for it.
But, as the book says, we are going to try anyway by trying to think unlike mice.
I love that. Okay, I'm definitely ready for that next step.
It really is quite a journey he takes you on. Srivastava builds this case so logically, piece by piece. It makes philosophy feel almost like a thriller, uncovering these layers.
It really does. So, a thought for you listening. That feeling of wanting inside you, that constant little push to do things, to exist.
Hmm.
Could that just be your little piece, your echo
Yeah.
of that giant cosmic blind will?
Mm. Something to ponder.
Definitely. Join us next time as we push further, trying to peek beyond what our mouse brains can normally grasp.